You've heard the phrase, you've said it without a second thought. But what if I told you? Those 4 words carry the weight of madness, mercury, and something far more ancient. A whisper from the past, hidden beneath velvet and brim. In the bowels of Victorian industry, madness was forged, not in asylums, but in workshops. The hatmaker's craft demanded a silent sacrifice. To mold felt, they used mercury nitrate, a deadly poison absorbed through the skin, the lungs, the soul. They called it the Hatter's Shakes, but it was something more. Hands trembling, visions blooming in the corner of their eyes, and slowly, the mind unwound. And then came Lewis Carroll, a mathematician, a dreamer, a man who knew the streets of Oxford and the face of madness. The Hatter in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland is never called mad outright, but the world he inhabits, illogical, twisted, a reflection perhaps of the tremors Carroll had seen in real life. But some say his inspiration was a man named Theophilus Carter, a real-life Oxford eccentric who wore his top hat like a crown and spoke to ghosts of machines. Some say it never meant Hatter at all, that it was mad as an adder, a viper striking blindly, or a solitary miner driven mad by his own echo. But others whisper older stories, tales of those who wore hats not to shield their heads, but to crown their heresy. The hat was power, pride, and punishment. Mercury, once known as quicksilver, was believed to possess mystical properties. It could cleanse, transform, or corrupt. The ancients called it the metal of the gods. The alchemists called it the gatekeeper of change. But what if it opened more than just chemical reactions? What if mercury opened doors within the mind? The tremors, the visions, the rage. These were not symptoms, they were awakenings, portals to the other side. Madness not as a defect, but as a possession. We no longer use mercury in hats, but the madness remains, in phrases, in fables, in blood. Science gave it a name, Mad Hatter's Syndrome. But the spirit that haunted those workshops, it never left. It lingers in forgotten phrases, in the rhythm of rhyme, and sometimes in the quiet between thoughts. We mocked the phrase, we laughed at the tea party, but the madness was real, is real. So the next time you hear it or say it, ask yourself, what are you calling upon? Who is listening? At Three Truths Project, we give voice to the forgotten, the twisted, and the true. Like, subscribe, and listen closely.